What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, Colonel and Dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is a lot of titles here. The king of video games and elite game publisher, Adrian Holmes. You might have heard of him before. How you doing?
That'd be me. I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. Doing all right. Got through Monday. It's a weird Monday for me. Not sure why. Just was a weird day. So I'm glad to be done with it. But glad to hear you had a good day.
I mean, the end of Monday is always good. So
you know what it probably was. I bet you what caused the weirdness is last night we played Palworld. And
we sure did. And we played it for a very long time.
I think maybe my body was just rejecting it. My body's like, nope, you shouldn't like this. You shouldn't like this.
We'll get more into that later on.
We'll talk more about Palworld later. Yeah, man, we've been kind of putting out a little more content with some of our streams now. Last week, if you missed it, I streamed Half-Life 2. And that might be my thing on Thursdays because I'm getting through it because I'm going to be joining Connor and crew in the future here, probably doing a Half-Life 2 episode. Last year we did the Half-Life 1 episode, and so yeah, I'm excited about Half-Life 2. I haven't played it in forever. Like, last time I played it was on the orange box, Xbox 360.
I was going to say a lifetime ago.
Yeah. Like 2008, I think that came out, the orange box, 2007 or 8. Mm-hmm. So it's been a minute, but it was good. It was good. It was a fun night. And then, Sunday night, we did a little test stream last night and played some Palworld. That's going to be interesting to talk about later. Not at all what I expected, but also exactly what I expected, if that makes sense.
Right.
And you'll hear what that means later on here. But so be sure if you're following us on Twitch, have the notifications on because we're really bad at posting on social media when we go live. Turn on notifications on YouTube as well because we're streaming to both places, YouTube and Twitch. You can join us in both places. So ring that bell, both of those places. So that way you know when we're playing games out there.
It's just like the underground jazz clubs back in the day, man. The cool kids, they'll know how to find us. All right.
There you go. Well, we should get on with the show because I have a feeling we have a lot to talk about tonight, possibly. So today we're talking about new announcements from Xbox. If you missed it, there was the Xbox Developer Direct this last week. If the future is not owning our games, this is an interestingly controversial news story that came out last week, and how Palworld is blowing people's minds. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Bumple Smash, Kajoma01, and our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates, Mama Mare, and Carrie. If you want to be awesome just like those folks, stay tuned for this. I'm reading the ad. I did the
You can't just speed past. We got a new sponsor like that.
Speed past? What? Was I speeding past it? Was it? No, it is a big deal. It's a big deal. I just didn't know we needed to stop and we got a new sponsor.
That's $10. That's a lot of money.
It is. Yeah, it's great. That's why we shouted them out.
I know you don't like the spotlight, but we appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it. If you want to be awesome just like those folks, you can head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys and join us over there starting at just $1 a month. If you want episodes early and ad-free of this show, if you want our Patreon exclusive show, Super Later Boys, or even previous seasons of our content ad-free, and even like an exclusive Super Gamer Book Club season hosted by Zetch back in the day, join us over on Patreon. You will not be disappointed. And there's only going to be more to come. So think about supporting us over there to help us make cool things. We'll talk more about that later on the show. But real quick here, I do want to give a shout out to Jack, Sriracha, and Yate for allowing us to use their music on the show. Make sure to check the show description below to get links over to their Apple Music and Spotify pages, as well as DJ Trooz, who got his pages over there linked below so you can listen to his jams as well. So go check it out. Show them some love. Show them some support. Because we really appreciate them allowing us to use their music for free.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think it's time to check the mail.
Fire it up.
Okay. Well, actually, before we boot up Super Gamer Bot, there's some clarity. We got clear some things up. So,
oh boy,
last
what did you
week,
say during the Half-Life stream?
yes, I need to come clean. No, so last week on the episode, we didn't have a mailbag segment because no one wrote in questions other than a random person through our contact us form on our website.
Oh, that's right.
And there was some, we originally conjectured that there was some shenanigans afoot. Well, we came to receive some messages from those who we assumed shenanigans were coming from, and got a big message saying, hey, that was not me. I promise it wasn't me. I know you have no reason to believe me, but I'm sorry that happened. It wasn't me. And because we mentioned Carrie, the writer of the article that we read, that incredible article about Wario not getting any spotlight last year, which is horrendous.
It was Waluigi.
Waluigi, excuse me. I'm misspeaking all over the place tonight. I said the wrong thing on the Patreon.
Can't even keep
ad.
your W's straight.
What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me?
You're off tonight. What's going on?
I've been off all day. That's what I was saying earlier. I've been off all day. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, they kind of told the story of the story that it wasn't them, and kind of went on to explain like there might have been someone else I knew, but I don't know. There's no way to know. But yeah, so just wanted to clear that up. Basically, I'm just bringing all this up to say Carrie is not a crazy person. The person who wrote that article, they're not the one who sent that in to us. There is not some like egotistical maniac or something like that. So
no, I never thought that. I was just saying
I didn't.
That it was just it was a Clark Kent situation. Like she was like, who could have sent you this article? Meanwhile, knowing it was her the whole time. Yeah. It's just fun.
No, it's all in good fun, and it was a great article to boot. But
yeah,
so yeah, just wanted to clarify that is because I know we were making some jokes last week, and I just wanted to say it's still very funny. But no, she is not the crazy person sending in her own articles under pseudonyms. Oh man! All right. Anyways, now that's
somebody's gonna do it now, right?
Is this going to become a weekly thing where people are sending in articles with more random pseudonyms?
We're going to get more people from big websites being like, this is how we get our stuff read? No.
That's fine. Whatever. I don't care. I'll read it. I read whatever's on the, I pulled that's what I pulled earlier on the Patreon ad is Ron Burgundy there. I'm just reading whatever's on the
I was getting ready to say, you better be careful with that, reading whatever's on the screen.
I just can't help myself. All right. It's now time for the actual questions. So let's boot up Super GamerBot.
Do it.
Whatcha Geeks? Finally some new questions. Let's dig in, shall we?
Jeez, I don't like how she was throwing away around that word geeks like that.
I feel like Super GamerBot is one of those ones that they, how there's those tropes in old TV shows where the character, it's always like an older sibling. They're real mean on the outside, but they do certain things to show that they really care about you. Or like if somebody starts picking on you, they step in. You know what I mean? Like they're a hard exterior, but they're really a softie. I think that's what GamerBot is. I think they care about us a lot. They just don't like showing it.
I hope so. I hope that's the case. Because if not, then we're kind of just holding the Super GamerBot here against their will and forcing them to read questions to us. And they actually do hate us. And one day they're just going to murder us.
GamerBot always has the option to
murder
uninstall,
us or sleep.
Right? It can uninstall, go back into the web, call it a day.
No, you can't just uninstall. You can't just uninstall, Adrian.
It's an AI. It can do what it wants. It can uninstall from this computer, go back into the internet and find somewhere else to hang out. But it doesn't, right? It stays with us. So,
okay, so uninstalling isn't the equivalent of something else then. Okay.
No, it's not like a rope. No, it's not.
Like
it's not like your rope bit.
We're moving. That was not. I was not leading. You did that. You led that to that.
I didn't make you say nothing.
You connected those dots. Anyways, all right, Super GamerBot, give us that first question, please.
Sir Prince a lot thinks SGP needs a mascot. What kind of animal or creature would work best for the show?
Oh, Sir Prince a lot wants us to come up with a mascot, huh? This is hard because, I mean, We do a video game podcast. So what kind of animal are we talking like, does that have to be an animal creature? Like, are we talking like football mascot for like a Super Game Boys had a football team? What would their mascot be kind of thing?
Right. Does it have to be an actual animal?
It says animal / creature. And creature makes me think
it could
like
be a creature.
Yeah, like that, like less natural. If that makes sense.
Good question.
I mean,
what do you think? What do you think, Morlang?
So I don't know. For some reason, the first thing that pops in my head, for no reason whatsoever, because I can't think of any sort of connective tissue here. So just bear with me here.
I'm nervous. Just do it. Just say it.
The first thing that pops in my head is like a kraken. I was like, a kraken would look sick. Like imagine our logo. It was like a big kraken, and our color scheme, like the purple, like the light blue. I'm like, that would look kind of sick.
What is it? Is the kraken wearing a t-shirt? Is it wearing a dad hat?
It's wearing the dad hat.
A kraken wearing the dad hat.
By the way, you can get your own SGB dad hat over at sgbstore.com. That's right.
Wow. That hit me like a lightning bolt of inspiration right there. Now we might have to make this happen.
Wow. Yeah, we definitely need a kraken wearing our dad hat with our logo on it. What's that? Isn't there like a game where there's like a Day of the Tentacle? No, that's not the one. What is it? There's one where there's like a squid or octopus dude who's like a dad. He has like kids. Octodad. I've never played it. I've only like just heard of it. That's what it is.
What's the octopus dude that's like a dad?
You know. There is a Lindsay in the chat says it should be a tanuki.
Huh.
I do like that.
Don't hate that either.
Because there's the connection, at least there is a video game connection there with like Mario having tanuki suit and stuff like that. And it's also an incredibly cute creature. That would be an awesome mascot.
Now, how do we tweak it to make it ours?
It's wearing a t-shirt with the Super Gamer Boys logo on it. I'm just kidding. Lindsay, it says Tanuki with a dad hat. Exactly.
I'm not opposed.
Does all the mascots just have a hat with our logo on it?
We're so creative.
We're so good at this. This is why we don't have a mascot, Sir Prince-a-Lot, because this is the extent of our creativity.
It almost makes me want to just like doodle around though and just see what comes up. But I know now the one criteria is it must be wearing a dad hat.
Man, I just want to go on like ChatGPT or whatever, like the image, like AI, and just like see what it comes up with. It's just like, give me a kraken with a dad hat, and yeah, exactly. See what wild. and then plop that image into Photoshop and put our logo in the hat. So then
you're gonna do this. I feel like
it's gonna be next week. We're gonna officially declare our new mascot.
Oh my! I will never forgive Prince-a-Lot for this. Don't do that.
I mean, we need some new merch for the store.
We do, but who's gonna buy a shirt with a kraken and a dad hat on it?
Oh boy, people buy wild shirts.
I know they do, but
I mean, have you been in like have you been in the graphic tee section of like a Walmart? Have you been to like a Hot Topic or Zoomies lately? Like, there's wild stuff on t-shirts.
That's fair. You know what? That's fair. You're correct. I stand corrected.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Did you have any ideas? I don't know if we heard from you, other than you just making fun of
my idea was the dad hat.
Yeah, was there a creature or animal that struck you as like, oh yeah, that represents Super Gamer Boys? Like a rhino because we're resilient.
No.
Or a dragon because of our ferocity.
No, every gaming podcast thing is a dragon. That's boring.
Is it really? I guess so.
I feel like they have some kind of dragon or like medieval thing tied into their logo or their aesthetic somewhere. How about?
What if it's just like an alien? Like
they did say a creature.
Yeah. but like with the big eyes. So very similar to the Alienware logo, but like wearing
we're
it.
not getting sued. We're just starting. We're not getting sued.
But wearing a dad hat.
They're gonna be like, well, here's this dad hat lawsuit. Give us everything you got.
It's the Alienware logo with a dad hat on the top. Oh no.
I don't know why I keep coming to like a beaver.
Okay. Oh, Alenzia says, give the creature a power wash thing in its hand, like a power wash simulator.
Smart. Power washing beaver.
On
there
one hand,
we go.
One hand it's holding like a controller, and the other hand it has just like a wand from a power washer for no reason, and a dad hat with our logo.
See, I thought I thought it was gonna be like in a little a power wash uniform, right? But then the hood part is off, and it has a dad hat.
Yes.
And then it's holding the power washer.
So good. I like that. That's might be the one.
So our mascot is a power washing beaver.
Yep. Wearing a dad hat.
I'll take what I can get.
All right, so print out. Print it. We want those t-shirts. ASAP.
Yeah, hurry
Get them
up.
to us. Oh man. All right, let's go ahead and fire up this next question here from Kajoma, I believe.
Kajoma asks, if Pokemon with guns is good, what other games would be better with guns?
If Pokemon with guns is good, what other game would be made better with guns?
What game would be
I don't
made
know.
better with guns?
I mean, it's cool. We'll talk about it later. It's iffy if Palworld was made better with guns, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh boy, I'm trying to think.
What can we add guns to? What if, okay. Overcooked.
Oh my God.
Okay. Bear with, hang on. So, let me cook.
Go ahead. You have the floor.
Overcooked, but you have guns. Everyone has guns. And if the person doesn't like their meal, they try to shoot you.
You just
gotta
shoot
fight.
them?
No, they try to shoot you, and you got to fight them back. So you never know when it's going to happen. You're just sitting there back there cooking your heart out. One person gets a bad dish, and all of a sudden you go over to the wash window to drop the dishes, or to grab the dishes from the dining room and take to the sink. You go over there, go to grab the dishes. Boom! Someone puts a gun to your head. What are you going to do? You got to fight back. So
it's
self-defense. It's purely self-defense.
Right, but I'm saying it turns into like a shootout where you're flipping tables for cover, running around the kitchen.
Exactly. Some insane person is dining in at your restaurant, and they flip their lid because they just had that bad lasagna was the last straw, right? Like we've all been there where you have a slice of lasagna, you're like,
can't take it anymore.
I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna shoot someone, and then you just do it. And so the gameplay is you're strapped and you're ready to fight back when that happens. You're like, no, not in my kitchen. And then it just turns into like a Hotline Miami or something like that.
That's what I was trying to think, what is that game I'm thinking of where you flip tables for cover and shoot people out of them? That was it. Hotline Miami. Thank you.
There we go. There's my pitch. Overcooked Miami.
I'm not mad at it. I can definitely see that working out.
That is definitely a game. Make it, Devolver. Make it.
Well,
that's a Devolver game, 100%. It's true.
I think I keep wanting to, there's already weapons in fighting games though, so a gun wouldn't really make it go crazy.
I don't know if it'd make it better necessarily.
So I don't think I would pick that one. My brain keeps going to puzzle games like Tetris. Like if they're like you get like each round you get 3 shots, right? And if you get stuck, you can shoot one of the pieces and it'll just shatter. And then you create that gap.
Okay, interesting.
Right? So like if you place a piece wrong somewhere or if it falls the wrong way, you get a chance to shoot it and it's gone, and then you can resume whatever you were doing.
And you can, as you go on, you can upgrade better guns. So you get like the shotgun that blasts like a whole line or something like that.
Right, but you only get one.
Or no, the sniper rifle would shoot a whole line out, go boom, and just shoot a whole line. The shotgun would take out like a big like section, like that would be like the top gun.
But the pistol you would get like 3 because it's small.
A rocket launcher would just like clear the whole screen. But it's again, like this is like progressive. Like you start at pistol and slowly work your way up to like RPG.
Right. Yeah.
Alenzia comes in with Stardew Valley. I mean, imagine
for the mines. Yes, you are correct. Yes, yeah, for the mines, I would love a firearm, but of course that would be far too OP, so it won't be happening. But I agree in that aspect.
What if Stardew Valley was more? You had just more agency, like a Baldur's Gate 3 or something like that, where hey, maybe I want to be the good guy. Maybe I want to go rob the bank or the grocery store and steal their money. Maybe it turns into Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, right now, the only thing you can do is side with the megalomart giant corporation company and put your town that you came to out of business. So some would argue that might be worse than any gun.
But what if there's a third option where you could just like be the criminal mastermind of Stardew Valley? Just hold people up at night. You just end up coming out of the darkness, pointing a gun at with your ski mask on. Just give me all your money.
Don't you want those ores?
Blue Crimson says Mario Kart battle mode. This Mario Kart with like double dash, and on the back of the car there's a Gatling gun.
Oh, no. Wait, does it shoot bullets though? Because Miyamoto will never in 10 trillion years let that happen.
It can be like an auto cannon that shoots like turtle shells, but it's just straight up a minigun that shoots turtle shells.
Okay, he might let that pass. He might let that work.
That's what I bring back double dash, strap a minigun on the back. That's what I want.
You don't even have a partner anymore. It's just a minigun.
Well, no, someone has to man the minigun. Someone has to be holding the.
It's bullet bills.
Oh, why did we even say shells? That's so obvious. Oh man, yep, 100%.
They're little tiny bullet bills, right? And then the person on the back has like you said, has a Gatling and it shoots tiny bullet bills. There we go.
We fixed it. We fixed Mario Kart.
We did it. You're welcome, Miyamoto. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Send the check to I'm not gonna dox myself if that's what you were hoping.
SuperGamerBoys.com. That's where you can send it.
Send it right over to SuperGamerBoys.com. Oh man, good stuff. So maybe adding guns to games do just make them better. At first I was
there's definitely a case.
At first I was skeptical, but now I'm like, nah, honestly, everyone we've named, every game has been a banger. So
has it been a banger?
100%.
Certified Hood Classic, is that
10 out of 10, baby. IGN, 10 out of 10. Give it to me.
Okay, I'm gonna let you have it.
Oh man, or more like a Game Informer 10 out of 10.
What is that?
We've talked about this on previous episodes, how they're owned by GameStop. So you can trust you can only trust their reviews with a grain of salt, kind of thing.
Right, because of their parent company.
The reviewer itself may have all the best intentions, but I can never trust GameStop again after the shenanigans they pulled the last few years.
That's fair.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that was fun. Thank you so much for sending in those questions. If you have any more questions, go ahead and send them in to us. Send us a DM on social media, or feel free to join us over at supergamerboys.com/Discord. You can join our Discord server over there. And chat with us all during the week, hang out with us, leave your questions under the mailbag section, or even tell us what you've been playing. We have a backlog challenge going on right now. Whoever can finish the most games on their backlog, meaning you've never finished them before, wins a prize at the end of the year. I don't remember what it is, and you'll have to go look and see and find out. But
I'm still waiting on my prize package, sir.
I did some research, and there was no agreed upon prize for our fantasy league. There was actually never a prize.
But there was for the backlog challenge.
Oh! You thought you said you didn't want it. It was a merch package. You're like, I already have all the merch. I don't want that.
I said I have merch. I didn't say. And then you go and introduce a dad. Give me a dad hat.
All right, I'll send you the dad hat. See if it fits on your big head.
I told you it won't, so I just need to prove you wrong.
It's adjustable. It's adjustable.
Okay, it ain't adjusting that much. You'll see.
It just looks like one of the little what is it called? The little caps that the Jewish people yarmulke.
The yarmulke.
It just looks like a little yarmulke on your head. Okay, anyways, we should move on. It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
Oh, man. This episode is unhinged.
You ain't seen nothing yet, brother.
I just realized that OBS isn't displaying the news story, so bear with me for one whole second. One Mississippi. There it is. Fixed it. All right. This first news story doesn't come from a news outlet. I just pulled right from Xbox because they just got right to it. Give me the straight facts. That's all I needed. We'll talk about the rest. We'll make our own news here.
The straight dope.
This was written by Joe Scrubbles. I didn't realize he was working at Xbox now because he was previous. Yeah, apparently he's editor-in-chief at Xbox.
I thought he
Wire.
worked at IGN. When did that happen?
I don't know. He must have left IGN at some point. Now he's editor-in-chief at Xbox Wire.
I mean, I can't blame him.
Good. You know what? Good job, Joe Scrubbles. Congratulations.
Hats off.
Congratulations. I don't know when that happened, but congrats. Xbox Developer Direct, all the news and announcements. So if you were not aware, on the 18th, there was a Xbox Developer Direct where they announced some updates to various unannounced, undated games without a release date. Undated games. I don't know. I'm not good with words.
Come on, man.
So we got some release dates. We got some trailers. We got some images. And first things first, I want to touch on. We didn't really get much about it, but I am stoked about this key art that they released of Avowed, launching fall of 2024.
So good.
So this is coming out on
such a good piece.
Yeah, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and cloud, joining Game Pass on day one. This art is incredible. Like, I just want a print of this. I want a big old poster plastered on my wall of this skeleton dude. This art is incredible. There's nothing more I can say about it other than it's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
It's incredible.
But Avowed game director Kerry Patel gave us a first deep dive into the gameplay in Obsidian's upcoming fantasy action RPG, from its dynamic combat to its thoughtful reactivity to its colorful, vibrant, strange world set in the living lands. Avowed continues Obsidian's signature style of creating games with deep themes and player choice at the forefront. Not only will you make narrative decisions that can impact changes in the game down the line, but Avowed is also looking to offer choice in combat. Gameplay director Gabe Paramo discussed not only how varied your weaponry will be, with melee weapons, ranged guns and bows, and magic-based wands, even dual-wielded wands, to name a few, but how flexible combat can be, allowing you to quickly change loadouts for enemy encounters. Swappable loadouts mean you can approach combat however feels right to you. Art director Matt Henson then explained how the Living Lands is a mysterious island made up of a widely varied regions, offering visually diverse backdrops and intriguing settings to explore. With secrets hidden throughout the regions, you'll take in barren deserts, verdant forest, blighted waste, volcanic biomes, and more. And that's not all for Avowed, however. Make sure to tune in the Xbox podcast on Monday, January 22nd, which is today as we're recording, for an exclusive interview with Obsidian's developers. I wasn't necessarily stoked about this game. Actually, to be honest, I didn't even remember it existed, to be frank. But now that I saw it, it reminded me about it when I read this article, and then immediately was like, oh, now that I've seen like this art, if this is the vibe they're going for, I'm all in. Like, this looks so fun.
Call me crazy, dude, but some of the biomes, I guess the areas in the game that they showed off, like the landscapes looked incredible to me.
Was there a trailer? Okay,
yeah. Remember they had a whole segment at the developer direct.
I didn't watch the developer direct. I was working, dude. I have a job.
Pony.
Oh, a full-time job.
You pony, Sony pony.
Yeah, that's right, Sony pony. No, I actually did not realize that they showed off a trailer. I just assumed because yeah, I don't know why I didn't think, because it literally says right here they gave us a first deep dive into gameplay. So of course they showed a trailer. I read the article and at first I interpreted it as, oh, they just talked about it. I didn't realize they actually showed anything off. I thought it was just like an interview thing, but I guess I need to go look at that now.
I was gonna say definitely take a look at it when you get a chance, because I mean it was already Obsidian and they don't miss.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no doubt about this game is gonna be good. I was just gonna play it when it came out. I didn't really need to hear. It was one of those situations I don't need to hear anything more about it until it drops. So I'm fine. They've earned that from me.
You say they never miss. What were your feelings on the Outer Worlds?
I liked it. I thought it was.
You liked it?
I liked it. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't play enough of it to form any.
It was better than Fallout 4.
Any informed opinion on it, but I just remember hearing varying reviews of that game, from like, this game is not great to amazing. So it's like it was like, yeah, top to bottom. So I was curious.
I can tell you the story was more interesting than Fallout 4. The dialogue was better than Fallout 4.
Okay.
By a long shot.
All right. It's not bad. So yeah, look forward to that this fall. I'm excited about that. The next thing, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, launching May 21st. Xbox Series X, S, PC, Cloud, joining Game Pass day one. Ninja Theory took us behind the scenes at their studio in Cambridge to take a look at Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, meet some of the team, and learn more about the craft behind their new title, which is now in the final months of development. In the video, we learn more about Senua's new journey, which leads her to Iceland, a harsh and brutal land ravaged by myth and tyranny. We were given a new look at Senua's experiences of the world, seen through her eyes as someone who experiences psychosis, and saw some of Senua's visceral and violent battles with the Draugr. We also heard more detail on what players can expect from the game's story and how binaural and spatial audio will sink players deep into the world of Hellblade. With the studio mission of crafting life-changing art with game-changing tech, Ninja Theory are pushing the boundaries of fidelity, richness, and immersion. You can join Senua on our quest May 21st. So,
did you get a chance to look at this, dude?
I didn't get to watch this new trailer, or a new, because again, I did not watch the whole direct, and I was just watching bits and pieces of things, and reading this, I assumed it was just an interview, but now I'm realizing there's probably more to it. But I've seen previous trailers, and every time they've ever shown any trailer of this game, it's always absolutely nutty, like insane. Like it doesn't even look like a game.
Bonkers.
It's like, oh, this is a film, right? No, this is a video game, and I don't know. It's gonna be bizarre to see on my actual computer screen when it comes out. Like, I don't even know.
It's gonna make your 3080 scream, brother.
Maybe.
It's gonna put it in a headlock.
We'll see. I might not be able to use ray tracing, but it might be all right. Yeah, I didn't know. Have you played through the first one?
Not all the way. That's actually on my list to do this year for the backlog challenge.
Okay. Yeah. I had started at one point, and I as well. I did not finish it.
But that wasn't because it was bad. I think something else had just come out.
Yeah, it was something. I got to it late. Like, not. Yeah, like I got to it late, and unfortunately, it was around the time where I'm like, I just need something to hold me over until X comes out. And I started playing, and I'm like, this game's really good. And I'm like, but that game I've been waiting forever for is out now, and so I just moved on. And I'd love to go back, but yeah, one of my favorite things, they talk about the audio in this little snippet here about the new game. That is one of my favorite things with the first one, is the way the binaural 3D audio works. Like, it's insane. You have to play this game with headphones on, because it sounds like there's people whispering up in your ears and behind you, and like, it's
right behind you. Yeah,
makes you feel like you're going crazy. Like, it makes you feel like, oh, I'm also like, you're right there in like experiencing some of those the side effects of the psychosis with Senua. Like, you know, obviously you're not actually experiencing psychosis, but like I said, the side effects of that, where like she's hearing voices, like you start hearing these voices.
It's enough for you to empathize
and hearing like
what's going on for her,
or hearing just like ringing in your ears, or like little noises. You know,
right.
It's like, I don't know, all sorts of things that make you like, to the point where playing the game, like I'm like looking over my shoulder and stuff like that. Kind of like there's one sound effect that
I knew you were gonna bring that up. I felt it in my bones.
I have a sound effect on on one of the Discord chats I'm a part of, and it's fantastic. It's like a door knocking, and it's fantastic because it gets Adrian every time I play it, and he's just
dude. It's so good.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I know you're trying to play it right now. I'm ready for it this time.
I'm looking. I don't even know if I can find it.
I know you were.
I don't know where it is. Oh, man. I can't remember what channel it was a part of. You just wait. At some point in this episode, you're going to hear a door knock, and you're going to be like, dang it.
Nope.
It's going to get you. I'll get you. Yeah, that one, though, I'm excited, and it's so soon. Like, it's a couple months away. It's nice to have something to look forward to with such an empty year. Like we talked about that a couple weeks ago. It's like there's nothing in 2024. At least, granted, again, this is just the few things that are coming this year are all the beginning of the year, and this is no different, unfortunately. But I mean, at least we have Avowed later in the year to look forward to. But yeah, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 coming May 21st. Visions of Mana launching summer 2024. Do you have any particular excitement over that or no?
Looked great. I'm not the biggest Mana fan. I played Secret, and that's about it. That doesn't mean that the rest of the Mana games aren't great. That's just the only one that I've interacted with. I wish I had the time to go in and do that, but they're all 90s, early 2000s era JRPGs, which means they're all like 60 to 80 hours. Which, when you get invested, of course, it always flies by. That's the one misconception that I don't like that people have about JRPGs. They're always like, oh, it's 100 hours. Oh, it's 80 hours. It's like, you don't understand, dog. When that switch flips and you are immersed and you're in that world, that time flies by.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I feel like the same is going to happen with this new Mana game because it looks like it's trying to evoke that same old spirit that the old games had. So if I get the chance and I get the time, I'll definitely, pick it up. I think is it on Game Pass?
I think the older ones have popped up there over like recently. But this one is not going to Game Pass. It looks like it's going to Xbox. It's coming out on Xbox and PC, but it's not coming to Game Pass. But previous ones will be or are. I think they already are because I feel like I remember I canceled my Game Pass recently because I wasn't using it, and it's like $15 a month or whatever, $16 a month. But yeah, look forward to that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure the older ones. So if you're interested in the series, look and see if some of the older ones on Game Pass. I'd give those a try before buying this one. But this is a game where anytime I see gameplay, I'm like, that looks beautiful. It looks fun in an RPG way. It looks like any other RPG, so it looks fun. The characters seem cool. Like there's so many like positives to it, but never enough for me to actually like bite the bullet and give it a shot. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe one day it'll get me. There's this other game, Era History Untold. I don't know anything about that. It's coming fall
that
2024.
One I don't remember. That one slipped right by me.
Based off of the artwork, the key art, it makes me think it's almost like a strategy, like top-down strategy game. If that makes sense.
No, it does. I just
I was
trying to visualize it, and I couldn't bring anything up.
I just pulled up screenshots, and yeah, it's basically like Age of Empires or Civ, like a civilization game. So
it's like another RTS.
Yeah, exactly. So that's coming, and enjoy that later this fall on Game Pass day one. It's only coming to PC, not coming to Xbox. All right, here's the big dog news. This is what we've been waiting for. What the thumbnail for this episode is all about. Indiana.
Quick addendum.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to get it in before you did it.
No, it's all good.
Just want to say, while it wasn't shown, it is still on my mind. We didn't get any updates on South of Midnight, which is the game that's about the girl who's a sorceress, and it's in the Deep South.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that giant guy, that giant skeleton dude that was playing the guitar?
Yeah.
Didn't get any updates about that, so it's likely not coming this year, unfortunately, because I feel like they would have said something at this point.
It looked so good.
But I am still keeping tabs on that game heavily because it looks incredible. from the little that we've seen in the trailer, if the game looks like that, might be game of the year. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. So here we are. Here is the big dog news story here. Indiana Jones in the Great Circle launching 2024. Coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC, joining Game Pass on day one. So, no specific release date, just a year, which I'm guessing.
Which means Christmas.
I'm guessing fall, Christmas time. The official reveal of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was debuted during Developer Direct with over 13 minutes of gameplay footage and developer insights. The new journey starring the legendary archaeologist comes from the award-winning team at Machine Games, the minds behind Wolfenstein, The New Order, and Wolfenstein: The New Colossus, in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games and executive produced by Bethesda Game Studios' Todd Howard. That's it. That's all the information they have, which is weird.
I thought you were going to keep going.
I thought I was too. It looked like there was more, but then I realized it's just talking about there's an update for Diablo 4. Yeah, for some reason, that's all they said about that. But they finally revealed it. This has been a game that they like kind of initially announced a while back, right? We've been waiting on this for a while. They kind of teased it.
Well,
like a couple years.
The
like,
rumors got out before anything.
Okay.
And then we finally got the confirmation at that one. Wasn't it last year's Developer Direct?
Oh,
when
yeah,
they did that long sweep over the table with all the artifacts and stuff on it.
Yeah, and then you see like his whip sitting there and a hat, and then you're like,
right.
Oh, it's Indiana Jones. Yes, I think that's seems right for the timeline. But yeah, but it's been like a couple years of people just like waiting for some sort of information because there's so many rumors like pointing towards something happening over there. So it's exciting to finally get that. Let's talk about a few things because
I was gonna say you and I just both watched the trailer.
Yeah, we watched the trailer here right before the episode. Now, right off the bat, the game starts off or the trailer starts off, and up close, the faces on these character models are gorgeous, but like in the animations, like I told Adrian, I'm like the muscles, you can see the muscles move in their mouth, like when they're like saying these syllables or talking, they're speaking. It's like, oh, there's like muscles that actually like certain subtleties that happen in real life that you don't normally see in a video game. I'm like, wow, like this animation is incredible. While like the rest of the body just looks very much like, and Adrian said this, like a video game. Like it's like the most video game looking video game kind of thing.
I feel like people know what I'm talking about when I say that, right? Like
yeah,
there's games
people
that look like The Last of Us. There's games that look like Horizon, you know, where they have clearly spent time on this model to make it look as rendered and realistic and textured. Like the fact that you could see hairs on Aloy's face,
right?
You know, just down to that level. This feels like it's not trying to do that, but it still looks really good. Like this is the ceiling up to making games look like that, like Last of Us Part 2. Like this is the highest you can get while it's still looking like a gamey game before you go into a cinematic experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it's like, it looks like, and it's weird because certain things of it, I'm like, that looks better than The Last of Us Part 2. Like with the facial animations, I'm like, that is so good. But then it's like, the hair on the villain looks like it's not connected to his body, and like it's like a flat plastic, like a Lego hair. It looks like Lego hair. Like he just slid it on his head. And then like Indiana Jones is in the foreground, like it's kind of like looking over the shoulder of Indy. He's like in a sinkhole or whatever, and he's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be very cinematic, so he's like slightly out of focus, you know, the bokeh effect, you know, the aperture's like stopped way down, but instead of looking like bokeh blur, like out of focus kind of thing, it looks like the textures just haven't popped in yet, like it just hasn't loaded all the way. It's like a whatever blur effect they're using like didn't work, like it doesn't look quite the same as like a cinematic camera. It looks more like oh, that's just not loading. Give it another few more seconds and it'll pop in here.
Well, you made a good point when I brought it up that it looks more like a video game than, you know, a cinematic equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I feel like this is missing something. And I said, I think it's film grain. I think that's what the trailer was missing.
Yeah.
And you said they're probably going to add it in, but they didn't put it on now because they want people to see clearly how good the game looks. Yeah. And it does look great, but I think when you add that film grain onto it, it's going to change this game into something different as far as the way it looks.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and yeah, so like I think they wanted to probably just show off the fidelity here. Like, hey, look at like how good it looks for a video game. But yeah, you think of like the first things that come to mind is like The Last of Us Part 2. There's actually like a film grain setting in the options. You can turn it up or down. Or Star Wars Battlefront 2 that came out 5 years ago now, whatever that the most recent EA one was. That has a film grain feature. And honestly, like if you turn off the film grain, that game looks gorgeous, but it looks even better with the film grain. Like, I don't know, games just look so much, especially when it's like it's from a movie franchise. So it's like, oh, it almost feels like you're playing the movie, kind of like with the Star Wars game.
I'm in the movie right now.
Yeah, and a lot of games do that. They have that like little film grain, and it's always like a little slider in the options if you want to turn it up, make it more intense, or just turn it off entirely. And I think one of the more recent Call of Duty, Cold War, is that what it's called? I think Call of Duty Cold War.
One of the 15 of them.
It was Cold War because it was supposed to again look like it took place during the Cold War, so like had like that grain filter. It actually made it looked like all right, I'm playing a movie right now. This is really cool. So I think Indiana Jones, it would be wild if they didn't have something like that in there, like a grain filter, and I think that would 100% kind of help the situation. So we'll see. I hope they do because.
Especially because it's based off of a film.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's make it feel like the film. That would be cool. Like you're playing the film. Speaking of gameplay, it is a first-person game, which makes sense for machine games because that's what they do. But boy, does it seem like a wild choice for Indiana Jones because it just, I don't know. For years, when there's people have compared Uncharted to, oh, it's Indiana Jones, but a video game. And so I guess in most of our heads, when we assume there would ever be an Indiana Jones video game, it'd be third person, right? And then Machine Game comes out and they're like, nah, not this time. We're doing first person, baby.
First person's our bread and butter, baby. And ain't changing nothing.
I don't know how I feel about it yet. I initially, right off the bat, was not feeling it. I'm not a fan of it, only because with like the melee weapons Indy has, with like the whip and stuff like that, I feel like that's always awkward in first person. I'm never a fan of first person melee type games. That's not a fan.
But they mentioned in that presentation that they are specifically working and tweaking to make sure that it does feel good to use the whip in first person.
Okay.
Like they've taken those things into account. So yeah. I would say maybe give them a college try first. Let them see what solution they come up with. And if it's still whack, then of course we can talk about that. But the fact that they said that in the keynote, because they know a lot of people, that's what they want to do is play with the whip. And then they showed examples of it too. So it's there if you want it.
Yeah.
You are Indy this time instead of you're looking at Indy or making Indy do it.
Yeah. Yeah, which is it's from a storytelling point of view, like it's cool. Like it's a really neat way to put it. Like, yeah, you are Indiana Jones here, but yeah, it's also still just from a gameplay point, a video game, strictly from a video game point of view, it just seems like an interesting choice for this type of thing. But not to say it can't work. Like they've nailed it with Wolfenstein games. Like they've been a lot of the more recent ones. They've been
first two
very good.
Classics.
But, yeah, Lindsay in the chat says, I actually am kind of looking forward to seeing what the first person is like. And the cutscenes will be third person. Yeah, that is true. Cutscenes will still be third person. So it's going to feel like, you're watching a movie or whatever. But yeah, they have the chance to do something really unique here and make it work. Kind of make all the haters look dumb, mm-hmm. Look like fools a little bit. Because
also, it's kind of like a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose, right? Because you make it first person. There are some people who are like, oh man, I don't even know if I want to play this anymore because now it's first person. And then you make it third person. Oh man, they're just copying Uncharted. Look how it looks like Uncharted and plays like Uncharted. So
yeah, that's true.
You're gonna have to pick one and just lose. That's all you can do.
Yeah, they had to do something to stand apart. And yeah, if they can really nail it, then they'll definitely. I think you're right. Like it's lose-lose. But if everyone just complains it's another Uncharted game, that can turn a lot of people off, and then they're just done. Like they're not even going to give it a shot. Where if people are like, oh, dang it, it's a first person game, but then they hear it's a good first person game, they might actually be like, oh, I'll give it a shot. Where like if it's like, oh, it's an Uncharted game, well, then all of a sudden it just gets like all the Sony ponies like, I'm not even going to give it a try because they're just trying to copy what we have, or it just gets pigeonholed, kind of like what okay, so this drives me nuts. People talk about Death Stranding. Oh, it's just a delivery man simulator. No, it's so much more. Like there's guns in the game, there's combat, there's all sorts of stuff. Like, yeah, there's a lot of traversing around on foot, but it's more than just a delivery man. And so where if this game got pigeonholed as like, oh, it's just the Overwatch, or not Overwatch, where's my mind? Uncharted, oh, it's just the Uncharted copycat, then okay, then it's always going to be known as that. But again, if it's like the first person Indiana Jones game, that's negative at first until people play it. And then it's going to be like, oh, this isn't so bad, Right. Like I've played Call of Duty before. I've played X, Y, and Z that are first person. Like this is fine. This makes sense.
And I lived.
So, yeah. I don't know. The internet's just full of a bunch of crappy people.
Yeah. I mean, overall, game looks fantastic.
Looks great.
From what we've seen from the previews. I am okay with the first person. I think it's different, but I also think that it's going to help people get way more immersed in the game than it would if it was third person indie. And I'm not saying that's not possible with third person. There are plenty of third person games that people get, immersed into the world. But like I was saying earlier, just to kind of piggyback on that, the fact that you are indie now, I think is really going to help a lot of people to instantly be able to jump into that world and into that role. So
yeah.
It'll be a good Christmas because that's when it's coming out.
Heck yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see, but most likely that'll be it. All right. I think that is it for that news article. Let's move on to the next one here.
Sounds good.
All right. This next news article comes to us from Wesley Yanpool over at IGN. Writes, Ubisoft exec says gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games for subscriptions to take off.
Oh, here we go.
An executive at Assassin's Creed maker Ubisoft has said gamers will need to... hang on, I paused for half a second there because I'm like, really? That's like, yeah, they make Assassin's Creed, but Ubisoft has so many great properties. It just seems weird to like narrow it down to just one. But anyways, I digress.
Ubisoft, makers of Just Dance.
That's what honestly, they should have said anything. That would have made more sense. They've been making that forever. Sorry. Gamers will need to get comfortable not owning their games before video game subscriptions truly take off. Speaking to discuss the launch of Ubisoft's new Ubisoft Plus Premium and Ubisoft Plus Classic subscriptions, Philip Tremblay, director of subscriptions at Ubisoft, explained to GamesIndustry.biz what needs to happen before subscription services become a more significant slice of the video game business. I don't have a crystal ball, but when you look at the different subscription services that are out there, we've had a rapid expansion over the last couple of years, but it's still relatively small compared to the other models, Tremblay said. We're seeing expansion on console as the likes of PlayStation and Xbox bring new people in. On PC, from a Ubisoft standpoint, it's already been great, but we're looking to reach out more on PC, so we see opportunity there. One of the things we saw is that gamers are used to, a little bit like DVD having and owning their games. That's the consumer shift that needs to happen. They got comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD collection. That's a transformation that's been a bit slower to happen in games. As gamers grow comfortable in that aspect, you don't lose your progress. If you resume your game at another time, your progress file is still there. That's not deleted. You don't lose what you've built in the game or your engagement with the game, so it's about feeling comfortable with not owning your game. I still have 2 boxes of DVDs, and I definitely understand the gamer's perspective with that, but as people embrace that model, they will see that these games will exist, the service will continue, and you'll be able to access them when you feel like. That's reassuring. The article kind of continues on, but I feel like that kind of gets the gist of what kind of happened here.
I think so.
And first off, I'm glad that when I originally saw this news article, I'll just bring it up here. We could have just moved on, but the reason I originally picked this article is because there was some post on social media, and I'm not sure exactly which news outlet because I couldn't find it. So either I'm guessing it was maybe taken down and reposted, or I was just not looking at the correct news outlet. So there was a news outlet on Instagram that posted about this story, posted a headline, but the headline said, Ubisoft exec says gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games, period. And at first, like, and rightfully so, like everyone in the comments were furious. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, who is this guy? Like, what is he talking about? Like, you can't like just tear him apart.
Just letting them have it.
And then, when I first saw this article, that was like last week sometime. See, this article was written on the 16th. So that was beginning of last week sometime. So I didn't actually look up the article until this weekend when I was writing the show notes. And when I read the full headline, I was like, wait, this is totally different than what I was originally thinking. So first things first, I just want to kind of shout out, hey, like games journalists, when you or I guess I should say social media people for these journalistic outlets, make sure you're writing your headlines correctly there, because for all I know, Wesley Yinpool had the correct context, and then it's whoever's in charge of social media at X, Y, and Z outlet. Because I can't remember if it was IGN, GameSpot, Game Informer, doesn't really matter. Whoever's on the social media team tried to truncate it, but made the context completely different. So yeah, I just wanted to address that, like, because I just in case people listening to this podcast maybe saw that post, I just want to let you know this is the same article, but with more context. So that's why context is king. And if you think something doesn't seem right, do your own research, because
smart.
Don't just go flaming on the internet, because for all, like, you could have clicked on the article and been like, oh, that's not what he said at all. But yeah, so now that I actually talk about the article here, then I guess I just want to start off with, he says, as people embrace the model, they will see that these games will exist. These games will exist. The service will continue, and you'll be able to access them when you feel like. That's reassuring. Talking about games in reference to movies and music and stuff like that. But the problem is, there's been time and time again where that's not been proven to us. That's not been true, Adrian. And how are we supposed to trust these people? And when they say that, when in reality, there's games that we can't play, like Metal Gear Solid 4, just
stuck on PS3.
Yeah, like just off the top of my head. And there's so many classic games. Like, just go to talk to Nintendo over there. Like, they're like locking stuff down. They literally have these virtual machines on the Switch, and they're still refusing to put like some big titles on there just for what?
Well, they'll put one like every 4 months, 5 months.
Right. But why aren't they like, okay, like give us access to Pokemon on the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy Color? Like, I mean, like, what's going on? Like, it's the reality of it versus what this guy is trying to tell us. Like, no, it'll always be there. You'll always be able to access it. It's like, no, I won't.
No, it won't.
I won't be able to. We can't trust you. We can't trust anyone.
We can't trust any of these companies. You know what this is right here? For the listeners, this is a 3DS. Guess what happened to it mid last year? You can't buy games on it no more. Yep. And this isn't the first thing it's happened to. All right. So whatever online service that they tell you is going to be around forever, it's not.
It's not. Not at all.
It's not. So, and that's what I think he was saying was it comes with the territory in that sense when you decide to switch to the subscription model.
But like he compares it to DVDs and music, but the thing is, like, there are vast collections of DVD and music libraries that are available today for, like, especially, I mean, more so music. Like, there's definitely movies that are lost to time, unfortunately. That is a thing. But like, music is like, holy cow, like the amount of music that is on Apple Music and on Spotify and all these places, like, that is something that is very much like very well archived for generations and generations to be able to listen to.
Right. But even still, a good licensing disagreement comes up, it gets pulled.
Nah, it's gone.
So
just like that. So nothing's safe, unfortunately. But I don't know. It's just wild because he's like trying to compare it to like, oh, is this like movies and music? And it's like, it's not. It's not at all. Like in the gaming sphere, it is so more like way more like cutthroat and money hungry, even more so than those other industries, I feel like.
Basically, when you switch to subscription services or digital games, like that's something that you have to weigh, right? Like when I made the decision when I got my Switch the first time, just for an example, when I got my Switch the first time and I knew it was going to be all digital, I came into it knowing that there is a very real possibility that in 10 to 15 years time, I won't be able to play the games that I purchased on this unit. That's a reality. Yeah. Now, the thing I will argue is that if these companies like Ubisoft want us to go all in on these subscription models, they need to work out much better licensing deals in order to keep them on these subscription platforms a lot longer. And they also need to be able to rewrite the program to make it kind of like forward thinking. So in a sense, like when Switch 2 comes out, you know you're going to be able to play your Switch 1 games on it because it's going to support it.
Yeah.
So as long as they keep that cycle going, in 15 years, I could play those Switch 1 games because they'll just be tied to my account.
Yeah.
But that's on the manufacturers to do right and put the systems and infrastructure in place in order for that to happen.
But why would they do that when they can remake and reboot all the games from your childhood or from whatever 10 years ago? Like
ding.
that's the other thing.
Greed.
It's like you can't trust them. Like I don't care, Mr. Philip Tremblay, what you say, Felipe. I don't even know how to say your name, but can't trust you because we all know at the end of the day, it's about the bottom line. It's about making money.
Oh, of course.
And I get that, but. Man, don't just lie to our faces here. Then don't just be like, you'll always have access to it. It's like, no, we won't. No, I won't. Guarantee it.
Carrie in the chat says these days, even buying physical copies half the time end up having a digital download code instead of a disc. So frustrating. It is. But that's the way that things are trending. Even with the ones with discs. Sometimes it's just the key to unlock the license to the game, and then it'll download the rest of the game from a server.
Yeah.
So really nobody's safe unless you find a third party like a I Am 8-Bit or a, why am I blanking on their name? Limited Run,
yeah.
Who will take the time to make sure that the entire game in its finished state is on the cartridge or on the disc. But even now, even at this point in time, that's an extremely niche market compared to the vast majority of people who are just downloading the game because it's easier.
Yeah. Yeah, it's convenient to download a game, but man, you're just at the mercy of.
You are, and that's the trade-off, right?
I had a bunch of digital games even on PlayStation 3. And the last I researched, you're supposed to still be able to purchase it. You can't buy stuff. They shut down the store, but if you've purchased stuff, you're supposed to still be able to download it. But the last I tried on my PS3 to install some stuff, and it won't let me. It just downloads. It says install error like that or download error, and it's sad. So I was like, all right. Even when they say, oh yeah, it's still working, like even then it's not even technically working, and I'm like, what the heck? Like I have this PS3 library, this huge digital library.
It's working like, if you do this. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta like jump through a million hoops, or sacrifice your dog to Jim Ryan or whoever the new CEO is going to be over there. Oh man! But
that's right. He's out next month.
We haven't gotten any updates on who's gonna take his.
He's probably
place.
just trying to sneak out quiet. You know what? He's not a creep like other CEOs. I'm gonna let him have it. If he wants to dip out quietly out the back door, he can do that.
That's fine. May not have liked him that much, but yeah, he wasn't a creep. He wasn't a bad guy. He just wasn't a great CEO for PlayStation.
Right.
Very different than like Bobby Kotick,
who was a terrible trash person.
Yep. All right, let's get into this last news story here. This last news story comes to us from Wesley Inpool as well, apparently. I just went all IGN this week. I did not realize I just picked all IGN, so here we go. Palworld has huge weekend, sells 5 million and overtakes Cyberpunk 2077 in Steam's most played games list. Palworld's astonishing success swelled over the weekend with a Pokemon with gun survival and crafting game shooting up Steam's most played games list and selling millions more copies. Palworld launched on January 19th in early access form on Steam as well as on Xbox and Windows PC, day and date with Game Pass. Palworld overtook CD Projekt's Cyberpunk 2077 to set Steam's fifth highest peak concurrent player count with 1,291,967 online at the same time on Valve's platform. Palworld is currently the most played game on Steam, ahead of Behemoth's Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, and PUBG. It is the sixth game ever to hit 1 million concurrents on Steam. There are a number of Steam records that go along with the success on Steam. Palworld is now the most played Japanese developed game ever on Steam. Its developer Pocket Pair is based in Tokyo, ahead of previous record holder Elden Ring, and Palworld is the second most played game ever on Steam, behind PUBG's perhaps unsurmountable peak concurrent figure of 3,257,248, which was set before the Battle Royale went free to play. Meanwhile, Pocket Pair said Palworld has sold over 5 million units in about 3 days, with 86,000 copies selling per hour. For context, Insomniac's Marvel's Spider-Man sold 3.3 million copies in its first 3 days. So this is blown it out of the water by like 2 million units, which is wild. Sony Santa Monica's God of War sold 3.1 in 3 days. Naughty Dog's Last of Us Part 2 sold 4 million in the same period. So the closest was Last of Us Part 2, and even that was 1 million off. Isn't that wild?
Insane.
Palworld then has sold faster than the fastest selling first-party PS4 exclusives ever in a 3-day sales window. All this despite its availability day one on Game Pass. That's the other wild thing. It's free on Game Pass, but 5 million people have still purchased it. While Palworld is a clear smash hit, it is not without controversy. Last week, IGN reported on how some Pokemon fans were taking to social media to point out striking similarities between Palworld's Pals and Pokemon themselves. And it's not mentioned in this article because I think it was a recent thing just today, but apparently the dev or the CEO over there came out and they've been getting death threats as well, which is insane. Over a video game, over a bunch of pixels on a screen, people are sending death threats to developers in game companies because of why? Because it's too closely related to Pokemon.
We'll get to it in a second.
That's logical. But yeah. What a wild world we live in. Because when they first ever announced this, I remember seeing the trailer and being like, oh, it's a Pokemon game. Whoa, this looks beautiful. Wait, that's a machine gun. What is this? What is happening?
Why does that Snorlax have a shotgun? What's going on here?
It was just like mind blowing. Just be like, wait, this is, and everyone said it. This is Pokemon with guns, because that's what it first seemed like on initial kind of reveal. Very quickly, though, especially like me and Adrian got to play it last night. That's not all this game is all about. There's a lot more to it. Not even
close.
It is way beyond anything I ever would have imagined this game was, honestly. But it has honestly. I guess it just blows my mind, the sales of this because it's an indie game, right? Like it's right. They don't have
a big publisher.
It's not a big publisher or anything like that. Like it's a small game, and to think that they just sold like 5 million copies in a weekend
in 3 days,
and half of it I wonder. I just want to throw this out there. Half of it I wonder. How many of these purchases are just for the memes? Like how many are just like, hey, just got to get in on this? Like
$30 for some memes is a very high price.
That's true. But yeah, it's wild. I don't know. What now? I don't know. Do we want to talk about kind of our thoughts on the game here, or do we want to save it for what you're playing? Because we did play the game.
We can give it a little light because it pertains to the story.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess to get into the gameplay then, it's not just Pokemon with guns. In fact, we fired it up. I'm like, oh, this is Minecraft. This is a survival game. Like, and people, I've seen that online now because I didn't read anything. I went into it totally blind, which was maybe for the better, honestly.
Right.
Firing up, I'm like, oh, this is Minecraft, or like other people have compared it to like Ark Survival. kind of thing. It's a survival game. You jump in and you're naked with no weapons, no equipment, no nothing. And you have to like go and like punch rocks and sticks to collect resources. And then you build your little workbench, and then you can build your little house, and then you can build little pale spheres. Not Pokeballs, they're pale spheres, right? That's what they're called. To catch your pails. And then they help you like build stuff and collect resources and attack other pails and attack other people, basically I forget what the name of it was, but we got raided. Remember, our camp got raided last night by whoever the Team Rocket equivalent is, the bad guys, whatever the bad guys are. They started raiding our camp and trying to destroy it.
But we mollywopped them. We got them out of there.
We had, but there's like a whole like upgrade tree system, which is wild. So there's so much more to this game than just Pokemon with guns. So I do just want to like clarify that, I guess, in this section is this game.
The pals themselves are like the least part of this game. I feel like.
Exactly. Yeah. At least at this point. And maybe later on they'll start to be more. But at this point, I've been doing more like Valheim, like collecting resources and building a house than I have Pokemon, like going out and catching monsters. It's very much like, oh, I got to get food. I'm hungry now. My hunger meter's all the way down. I got to fill it up again. It's just like managing hunger meters and cold, making sure you're not freezing, getting clothes on. It's wild. It's a wild game. But
it's fun.
It was very fun. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any more to add to this other than congratulations, I guess?
I mean, absolutely. Congratulations are in order. I mean, yes, you can definitely tell that they've taken inspiration for their designs, for their their pals, for sure. You could tell that they just kind of put some parts in a blender all from all different Pokemons and be like, design something out of these characteristics here. I know there's a big stink about whether or not they used AI. I guess the company owner came out and said that's not the case. I run a team to have to do this. We don't do that. And there's no official evidence other than like people trying to line up game models to see how much the pixels interact. And it's like, brother, relax, dude. Do you know what Pokemon was aping when they first came out? Dragon Quest, a game that came out over 10 years before. It had bats, it had scorpions, it had, little critters and whatnot. And what does Pokemon have? Bats and critters and things of that ilk that you find out in the wild. Where did you do that at? Huh. Dragon Quest in 1985. Everything takes from everything.
Yeah.
And you can't, I don't think they're too worried about, anybody like Nintendo coming after them, because I feel like for Perjury, it has to be a one-to-one comparison. And they ain't getting that, because those pals, while they do share like maybe a similar body type or a similar fur color, there's too many elements in each one for Nintendo to be able to claim it as their own. Even if they're like, it's based on a regional variant. Don't matter, Chief. It ain't the same thing.
I mean, what's that quote? I don't remember who says it, but it's good artist borrow, great artist steal. Like everyone's using, like, nothing's original nowadays. So it's like, all right, if you're gonna steal it, at least make it your own.
Which they did.
And they did. They very much did. They threw some mini guns in their hands, some machine guns, and color swapped them, and gave them some more character. Like there are like different defining features of these pails, but it's like, oh man, it's so funny. It's so great. It's a good time. We can talk more about it, I guess, during Whatcha Playing.
I was gonna say we can dive deep later.
It is fun. But yeah, if that's it, then guess we can move on with the show here. In fact, it's now time for our Patreon ad.
Let's do it.
All right, this is the part of the show where I tell you to go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys to join us over there And for just $1 a month. That's right, $1. You get episodes early and ad-free. You can help support the channel, help us make cool things, and you get episodes and Patreon exclusive shows as well, like Super Later Boys. We also have our $5 a month level where you can get the show notes early, all the previous perks, and you'll know what we're going to be talking about in the show. Leave your own questions, comments, concerns, thoughts right on the dock. If you're not able to catch us here live on Monday nights when we record, go ahead and leave your thoughts over there on the dock. What have you been playing? Let us know. What kind of questions or thoughts do you have on the news stories that we've been talking about? You can have access to all of that at that $5 level. $10 a month, you get all the previous perks, and you get the shout out at the top of the show as a Super Gamer sponsor. We very much appreciate all of those. We've had a couple long timers, and then like today we announced that Carrie, the new one. So thank you so much, Carrie, and thank you so much to all the rest of them. In fact, a lot of the people who support us over on Patreon are listed in our show description, so make sure to check that out and give them a round of applause right there, wherever you're at. If you're at the coffee shop, go ahead and give them a clap right now. Read through that list, and I want you to read their names out loud and clap for every name. You can also support us at the top dog tier. We got the Patreon producer, $15 a month. You get all those previous perks, and you can pitch a segment for the show. If you have an idea for the show that you think would make for a cool segment, whether like it's Kajoma's card game corner. I don't know why it's so hard to say. A tongue twister. Previously Adrian was a Patreon producer before he joined us. He had his Super Indie Boys, where he talked about indie games. If you got something along those lines, whether it's a bit for the show or just a totally separate thing we do on social media, a separate show altogether. We had a few people kind of pitch ideas for maybe doing a D&D show, and we did Super Dungeon Boys. So go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/supergamerboys. At the Patreon producer tier, you can support us there and help us make cool things. You can also buy some sweet merch, as we have been mentioning the last couple weeks. We have that new dad hat available now over at sgbstore.com, as well as stickers, mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, whatever you want over there. Go check that out. Get some sweet merch. I wear my dad hat all the time. I love it. It fits incredibly nice, and it looks cool. So, and last but not least, if you're watching over at twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys, make sure you follow us first, and that's a free thing you can do. And then also, you can go ahead and subscribe for free. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link that to your Twitch account, use your free Prime Gaming sub, and that allows you to watch us ad-free over on Twitch. It allows you access to emotes. And it also helps support the channel. It costs you $0. We get $5 out of it. So if you want to help support the channel, get some sweet perks over on Twitch, twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys, and use that free Prime Gaming sub each and every month for us, please, because it doesn't re-up automatically. You got to remember to go over there, and let me tell you, we'll remind you. Don't worry about it. We'll remind you. All right, I think it's now time to move on. So let's get out of this Patreon ad. All right, we are back from the ad. And Adrian, I need to ask you what you've been playing.
Same thing you've been playing, good buddy.
The very same. Palworld. That's right.
Oh man.
That's right. This game. Do you want to start with your initial thoughts of this game? We played about 2 hours last night, right? Or about an hour and a half.
About 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, it was around there.
This game presented itself as one thing. It presented itself as the tip of the iceberg, and then I think once you and I started playing, we saw what the full iceberg looks like, and it is so much more than just Pokemon wielding guns.
Yeah.
I feel like at the rate we're going to be playing this game, to even get to like the gun part is going to be a while from now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, at this point, like we're running around with bows and arrows and
Right.
and our pails don't have anything. Like they don't have any weapons. They're just using their fists. So it's like that, and that has been something that has me a little worried with this game is right off the bat, I mentioned in the thing that's like a survival game. Survival games generally aren't my cup of tea because of the grindy nature of it. Like you have to grind, get enough resources, grind, get enough experience, grind, build X, Y, and Z, and like research. I have very limited time budget in my life as it is, and then to just spend all this time getting nowhere is or not getting nowhere, but taking a long time to get somewhere or anywhere. That's my only hang up with this is I really enjoyed what we did, but also like exactly what you're saying. How long is it going to take to actually get to a point where we're just Mad Maxing across the plains with machine guns and just blowing people up with our army of like sheep
being carried by our bird pal,
right?
Well, it's got an SMG in its mouth and I got a sniper in one hand like this, looking over the plains.
I am a little worried about that. That is one thing that, again, it's unwarranted because we haven't played enough of the game to even see how bad it is. But I just know it's potentially could be there. But what do you think?
I mean, I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to be as, like you said, I wasn't expecting it to be as accessible as it is. Yeah. It's not nearly as deep or as complicated with systems as Ark is, where like you have to keep. This is hyperbole, of course, but like in Ark, you have to don't let your fingernails grow too long, or else they could get infected or something like that. So you have to carry around a fingernail clipper with you and clip your nail. You know what I mean? It's not nearly that level. Like you get hungry, you get cold, you get hot. Same things that happen in something like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
That's it. That's like the extent that we know of. Because like I said, we've only played a couple of hours. It could be down the road. I definitely see the hooks hanging from this game. And I can see how they will get a lot of people. They've already gotten a lot of people. I look in my my Discord list and every person that has their Steam hooked up is playing Palworld. So there is clearly something to this game.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, even though I'm not a father, I still do have things that I do, like work and, rest. I don't know, and also play other games to be able to talk about them on the show. I don't know where the time might come that they want me to devote to this game.
Yeah.
To actually get the most out of it. And that's no fault of the game, right? It's designed to have people to play for a long time.
Yeah.
But you and I think, just have schedules and we have other wants as far as gaming that it won't allow us to devote fully to this game. Now, does that mean I'm going to stop playing? Absolutely not. Because I really like what I've played so far.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely one I want to give the old college try. I don't want to dip out too quick. I'm like, okay, no, I'm having a good time.
Right.
I want to play this through a little bit.
Especially with it being in early access, I'm interested to see where it's going to go from here. I'm interested to have this conversation again in about, let's say, 2 years from now, when it's out of early access and it has its first couple of big updates, and see where we are with it.
Yeah, to see what kind of legs it actually has. Like, is it going to be like a one-hit wonder and it's just cool for 2024 and then it fades off by the Game Awards? Is there going to be that?
I mean, this would be one heck of a one-hit wonder, right? Like,
that's
5 million in 3 days. You have to have something going for you. I don't think there's been any game that has, done off of being relatively unknown, done numbers like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right. Like even Fortnite had Epic Games back in it, and everybody knew Epic already.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't even think of anything that's done sales like this. Like, this is like next level stuff. Like, it's kind of insane.
Carrie said, do you see this becoming the next Fortnite or the next big thing? If it keeps going like this, it definitely has the potential to.
Yeah.
Because Fortnite wasn't necessarily the most polished game, ready to go game on the block. It had its fair share. I was there in the early Fortnite days, and it wasn't anywhere near as polished and refined as it is now. So that's what I'm saying. I would love to have this conversation about Palworld in like 2 years to see where it is and to see what the gaming landscape looks like, to see if it has become a titan like a Fortnite.
Yeah, could it become the next Fortnite? Like, I mean, if they can keep up, I guess I'd be curious to know more about the studio, because it is, as far as we know, like an indie studio. I haven't actually done research to see, like, is it actually an indie studio? Because there's like obviously like the big misconception last year with like, oh, Dave the Diver was nominated for best indie game and it wasn't even an indie developer kind of thing. It's connected to like a bigger company. So, but as far as we know, this is like an indie studio. If that's the case, like, I just hope they can keep up with supporting the game, keeping it running properly, bug free, but then we also want to see expansions and cool things happen. So I think if they're able to do something like that, like have seasons, granted, it's still in early access now. It's not even full launch, but I think in order for it to become the first, another, like a Fortnite in the sense of like, the next big thing, that's what it needs to do. It just needs to have a constant stream of new content. Like, that's what keeps Fortnite is like every month there's like something new, whether it's like new skins or something, or like now it's a new season, or now it's a new whatever, X, Y, or Z, new stuff, just stuff to unlock, things happening to the map. The world's changing. If they're able to do that.
Fortnite had to build to that point though, because when it first started, it was just that save the world mode and it was flopping. It didn't hit until it became a BR.
Right. But I think that with her asking that question, that's what she would be referring to, and that's what I was assuming, and with the comments I was saying, I don't think it's gonna, because Fortnite was very different at the beginning. So I mean, I guess with that sentiment though, could the game pivot? Yeah, maybe in like a year or so, it's a completely different game than it is now. But I honestly don't think it necessarily has to. Like, from what I can tell, it's a pretty good game as it is. Like, it has the benefit of the doubt already, where like Fortnite started out not great, kind of okay, and got better. This game's already starting to like, oh, this is really good. It's kind of got a jump start, I guess you could say. But yeah, I don't know. It's a wild experience. I keep thinking about like our time last night. Like, it has so many genres packed into one. Like, it is like, the survival RPG aspects, but then like it does have some sentiment of Pokemon games. Like, honestly, catching Pokemon reminded me of Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
Where you actually have to, like, you fight them, and then, but like they can attack you too, and and then you gotta like line up just right with the Pokeball, and also like it has a very similar vibes to that, which is kind of fun actually.
I think the thing also that's gonna keep it alive is the internet presence, because think about all the things that you and I went through just in our hour and a half, 2 hour playthrough last night, and then if people are making clips of that stuff, or if they're showing off structures they made, or, a certain special way, like, it's going to create a community and a fandom around this game. With 5 million out there. It
already has. That's the thing.
Right.
So like, it'll be, I think this community could really blow. Again, as long as the game is continually able to deliver fresh, new, fun experiences, or like, oh crap moments, or what, this is wild, this is awesome moments, like, just to get people like super stoked. Like, I think there's no reason why this isn't just gonna like blow up. But
I told you I wasn't gonna do it.
I've been waiting all episode for that. I've been waiting all episode for that. Seeing if I can.
You thought I forgot.
Oh man. So yeah, it's I think that's that's what it's going to come down to, is like the longevity of this game is going to be like, all right, keep making cool stuff. Don't just let it sit. Don't let it sit.
Right. That's the key.
Don't get
But I think they have a good cushion for them to sit on while they make the rest of the game. Just because of, like I said, the little bit we played was so hefty. There was so much to do in it already that they probably can sit for another few months and be fine.
Yeah, it's hefty for an early access too. I keep forgetting that it's early access. So pretty cool game. I don't know. Again, I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep playing it, but just because like I'm already thinking like, oh, well, next month Final Fantasy is coming out, and
Persona 3
a couple months after that, like we just got the date for Hellblade 2, like stuff like that. So it's like things are coming this year, but
it'd be a good if nothing's going on game.
Exactly. It's that good game where we can always just fall back to and be like, hey, nothing else going on, let's jump into some Palworld.
Let's hop on some Palworld, man.
Although, oh shoot.
What?
I think this week, I just remember we were talking about doing all this Fortnite talk. I think this week is the week the snake skin comes out.
All right.
We might need to, we were originally going to play Palworld on like our streams this week, but maybe we need to just abandon ship and go all in on Fortnite. I got to get that solid snake skin.
I'm game if you are.
Oh man.
We gotta get grinding then, because I think you get that snake skin at 100. So
is it really?
I feel like, unless you can buy it.
Well, so they haven't revealed anything yet, because I bought the battle pass, but
I know you did.
When you go to
the day they put Snake in there, you bought that battle pass.
When you click on they have a little icon saying coming soon with like, and it has Snake, and you click on it, it just had a timer saying X amount of days till it's available or till it's unlockable, but it's not actually on the battle pass. It's like a separate thing. There's like missions or like objectives.
They're probably gonna make you do like missions to get it.
So
while you play,
we need to figure that out. We might be forget striking when the iron's hot and playing Palworld while it's hot right now. Let's play some Fortnite, get some solid snake skin.
I'm down. Now the question I have that is a huge missed opportunity is, why didn't they make one of the areas on the map into Shadow Moses?
Right, 100%. There should have been a Shadow Moses area. No reason to not have that.
Goofed,
man. And imagine being able to, like, if you do like some secret stuff in that area, you can like unlock a Metal Gear Rex. Just like walk around like a Metal Gear Rex. That's what I want. I did play a couple other games. I played Half-Life 2 on stream last week. I mentioned at the top of the show.
It's a little bit.
Very it's a fun game. Although towards the tail end of the stream, I got to the one part that I immediately was like, oh, I remember this part, and I hated this part. When you're in the little airboat, like the hoverboat thing or whatever you call it, not the hoverboat. It's like the big fan in the back where it's just floating around the bot. I was like, oh, I hated this the first time around. I'm hating it now. But the rest of the game, the beginning of the game is great, and I'm getting to the next part, which I know is going to be good too.
Wait a minute, Garrett. Are you telling me this game isn't the second coming, like the internet has told me all these years?
No. Well,
are you going on record saying Half-Life 2 sucks?
It doesn't.
Was that what's happening?
It doesn't suck. It's definitely not perfect. It's far from perfect.
That's not what the internet says. The internet says it's the best PC game ever made of all times.
Does it
has
though?
A physics system.
I guess I haven't. I don't know if I've heard that. What I've heard is that
I'm being hyperbolic, of course.
I mean, I'm sure there's people who we know who might say that. But no, it is.
You're thinking of another Half-Life project.
Yeah, that's true. It definitely has its moments where it's like, this is wild. Okay, so yeah, I think of it in terms of like, it came out in 2004. Right, in 2004, and even the original one in 1998, wild, groundbreaking, revolutionary. Like, it really was absolutely insane what they were able to do with that. But yeah, I think with age, it's like, this game isn't as great as everyone makes it out to be. But again, it's one of those things like, oh, it's also a 20-year-old game. Half-Life 2 is. And Half-Life, the first one is 20, I'd make that like what, 27 years? 26? I can't do math good. So, yeah, they're fine. They're fine games. The first one, I think when I talked about it on Connor's show, I was just like, it's fine. It's good. I understand the hype behind it because it's like you get to moments you're like, oh yeah, in 1998, this was crazy. But now it's like the first one is rough to play. And then the second one, this one, so the one I've been playing on stream is much better. It is much more fun to play than the first one. Like it's an insane leap, honestly. Like playing this, I'm like, this doesn't even feel like the same game, honestly. Like it's like so good, but so much better, I should say. But yeah, according to today's standards, it's like, ooh, it's lacking. But still good. I'm excited for the next area because it almost gets like kind of creepy horror-ish. You know, all of a sudden you're like, there's the zombies and head crabs coming at you and like sneaking out of the dark corners, and you could running through like abandoned buildings. It's super creepy. So I love this next part. And then I also finished Dredge, my game of the year for 2023.
Whoa.
Finished that.
That's
up.
still nuts to me that it just came in at like the shot clock buzzer beater hour of the year.
Yep.
And became your game of the year.
I mean, my game of the year was between, I think number one, I had Armored Core. Number two was Baldur's Gate 3. But then I played this, and this just struck me different than even, those are both games I was very excited about and had a lot of fun with. But boy, the story of Dredge. And now that I finish it too, I'm like, nope, yeah, 100%. I stand by this. Like, such a good story that really like just, I don't know. Yeah, it just had a very different like, reaction to it, I guess, playing through it compared to, again, like Armored Core has a story, but it's more just like, oh yeah, big robots going fast, blow up. And then Baldur's Gate 3 is kind of like, oh, the story is whatever you make it. Like there's kind of a story, but the whole point is like you do things and it changes the story.
Right.
And so yeah, when I was playing through Dredge, like it was like the last week of December, and I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the one. Like, how did I not know about this game? It changes everything. And I love the ending. I don't know if this is spoilers or not. So if you're sensitive to spoilers, I guess skip 10 seconds. But what I was going to say is it has multiple endings. So that's all. Again, I don't think that's spoilers, but you can put your headphones back on, Adrian. You don't need to. You're good. You can put your
okay.
Yeah. Again, I don't think what I said was spoilers, but it's some people are sensitive to that type of stuff. So, anyways, and so yeah, having played through it and seen all of that, it was just really cool. So, because initially first starting the game out, I didn't anticipate it having that, and so when it did, I was like, oh, that's a cool little thing they added on there. So on top of like every time I talk about this game, there's something new that I like about it, whether it was the open worldness of it, like the Breath of the Wild-ish type of thing where you can just start the game up and go any direction you want, you know, kind of play the game any way you want, or to like the fun characters and like the creepy, like Lovecraftian undertones of things. And then, yeah, when you get to the end, it's like, oh, wow. Like, I don't know. It really, trying to think again, I don't want to spoil anything, but not what I expected on the ending and on the story. And I really, really enjoyed that. Really thought that was a cool twist, if anything. So, Lindsay says it could almost count for your game of the year for 2023 and 2024. I mean,
it better not be your 2024 game of the year. I almost said Resident Evil. Final Fantasy is right there.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out next month. So that at this point is going to be my game of the year until, because again, looking at the landscape for 2024, there's not much else coming out that I'm super as stoked for as like
tumbleweeds.
Yeah, as Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So at this point, that's my game of the year for 2024. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get surprised. Maybe Metal Gear Solid Delta comes out and actually surprises me. Maybe it's actually better than the original somehow. We'll see.
That's a tough ask.
That's
a very tough ask.
I mean, they basically have to change the character for me to like it. So, which is an extremely tough ask because they've already exclusively said we're sticking to the original. So, excuse me. Ooh. All right. Well, that's think about wraps up our show. Unless there's any other games you want to talk about besides Palworld.
That I've been playing really tough. Let me think. Oh, I've been playing a little more. I've been playing a little bit more Playdate. I've been playing a game called Real Steel.
Okay.
I think that was one of the free ones too.
Like the movie?
No, not the movie.
The movie tie-in?
With Hugh Jackman and that one kid that never acted again.
Yeah, that one.
So for those who don't know, Real Steel is a game for Playdate where you are a gang of Robin Hood type thieves and you're stealing from the ultra rich oligarchs to kind of stop their control of everything, because in this world, the economy is all controlled by like 5 major big corporations / billionaire people, and your aim is to steal from them and give back to the people. And the way it does it is it's like a fishing game. So you go down, you cast your hook, and then you use the crank on the side to reel your line down, and you're scooping up money bags as you do it. So you're taking all their money bags as you go down. You're trying to avoid obstacles, and then you get down to the bottom where the treasure for the level is, and you have to do a whole thing to hook that and get it up. It's pretty fun. Pretty doggone fun. It's a neat little concept.
That's awesome. The Playdate's so unique and so fun. Like what they do with that crank. Is it gimmicky? Yes, but they do a dang good job at making the games like cute and fun and interesting along the way. You know, it's not just like you're not just playing and be like, all right, I get it, it's a crank or it's a whatever. It's like they actually make a good game that incorporates a crank. Like it's like I don't know. It's not like we just made this because there's a crank here. It's like they made the game and they're like, oh well, there's sensors a crank here, we might as well use it, kind of thing. Like it's like
might as well.
Yeah, that's and I appreciate that, because they could have just, all the developers for this Playdate could have just been like, like we have to make a game just to make the crank work. But there's some games that don't even use the crank. Like that's what I love about it. They're like, oh no, we're just using this because it's a handheld. That's amazing. That's great. Like that's
versatility,
so awesome.
Dude.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's so unique. Like even the device itself is weird. That's what I love about it. A crank on the side of a console. Who would have thought?
For those of you who are watching on the video and haven't seen a Playdate, like this is so cool. Little cute guy.
Just to let all the games be as magical and weird and different as they all are from each other. There's graphic novels, there's rhythm games, there's all these different kinds of stuff that people are experimenting with, and it's all independent. I love this system.
Yeah. I'm excited. I hope they announce like a season 2 soon. That'd be so cool if we got like a season 2 of games. Even if I have to pay for it, I'm fine with paying for it. I feel like
it's on the horizon because they finally got the catalog up and running. That was like their big task to get going, and now that that's done, they're probably focusing on season 2.
Yeah, that'd be fun, because I know they have the catalog now where you can just get anything and everything through the online store, through the store catalog app. But I don't know, there's something about the specifically curated games that they picked out that are exclusive just through the subscription that I think could be, it's just something like a little extra effort that's put into it that kind of helps, like, oh, okay, no, these are like the extra special games. These are really fun. Not that there's not, again, great games in the catalog, but there's something about like, oh, okay, these are like really have the polish put on them, you know, to work well with this.
They've hinted at season 2 verbatim, like being a thing.
Okay.
So we just got to be patient and wait for them to get around to that. But like I said, until then, they keep dropping stuff on catalog, so there's always new stuff to play. Yeah, no, that system rules. Real Steel rules. I even got a little Root Bear in this morning before I left for work.
Yes.
God, that game is good.
Root Bear. It's fantastic.
Root Bear is so good.
Good stuff.
A bunch of those games are good. But yeah, that's what I've been into. So
nice.
Just want to shout that out.
Very good. Yeah. Go check out Playdate. I wonder, so are they caught up
should
on
be all
their...
caught up.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Are they all caught up on their sales, because for a while it was like you ordered and you had to wait like, it was years, and then it was like months, and now I would think they're caught up by now, but let's see. Buy now, estimated, yeah, right now, $200, estimated delivery, January 2024. So you get it within like a couple weeks, I assume. So that's great. Cool. Yeah. So if you want one, go pick it out. I like the new cover, the new like teal cover they have.
The blue one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's so like I mean I love the purple, and the original purple one's sweet, but I really like that teal one as well. Not that I need it.
If I didn't have that purple one, I'd probably get the teal one.
Yeah. Got a little bundle. Look at that. Playdate and cover. You save $10.
What I want to know, Panic, is where's my speaker at?
Where's
my
the dock?
Bluetooth speaker at?
Where's the dock? I need the dock.
What's
with
going
the
on
speaker.
Here? I got questions. I got Mula sitting right here for you. Do you want it? What's up?
Oh man, I can't. I'm so excited for when they announce that, because I assume that's when they announce like season 2 of the games. Probably they're like season 2's coming. Boom, boom, boom. Here's a bunch of games. Oh, and also here's the dock. Boom, boom, boom. Coming out this date. Oh man, like that's
say no more.
That's gonna be so good. And we got to do a react to it. That was like that's one of our most popular videos on our channel. I think it has over like 6,000 views. So we're like the Playdate spokespeople right here. We are the people.
I keep telling them. I said, if you, I will be a brand evangelist for Playdate for free. 100%, dude. Send me a t-shirt. Send me some stickers. I'll pass them out. I'll tell people about Playdate. Shoot.
I mean, we do. We do already. It'd be nice.
I know I do already, but I'm just saying, like, I'd have like their official, backing on it. But no, I've been a champion for this thing since 2019 when they first announced it. So I've been waiting for this for a while.
So
and it,
good.
like I always say, it met every expectation that I had. So I cannot speak highly enough about this device and what it's doing, not only for the indie game scene, but for creativity and creators themselves, giving them an outlet to, make their games. So.
Yeah, totally. It's cool stuff. Cool stuff over there at Panic. They don't make garbage. That's for sure.
Not even close.
Not even close. All right. Well, that is it for the show this week, I think. So thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you who tune in here live on Monday nights over on Twitch and YouTube. Or if you catch us later on podcast services, thank you. You are all great. So thank you for listening. If you want to help support us and don't make us do anything, please. I don't like that. But you can help us make cool things by going to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Starting at $1 a month. Episodes early and ad-free. Go check it out. You can get some sweet perks at the higher levels there. You can also support us at sgbstore.com by buying some sweet merch. We got the dad hat out now, looking good. We also got the sweatshirts with our logo on it. Go get the coffee mug. The mug has our faces on it. Get it, our mugs. Yeah, dad joke. There we go. sgbstore.com. Go check it out. Shout out to Jack Sriracha.
I'm gonna do one from the back seats in the theater. Wrap it up. Boo.
All right. Shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on the show. You can find them over on Apple Music and Spotify. Make sure to go find their music. Click on the links below on YouTube and in the podcast app. Find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I am on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
You can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
And that is all I got. So Adrian, do you mind taking us away?
I sure do. This is going to be a short one because I want to get back to playing Palworld. Folks, thank you for hanging out with us for another week of the Super Gamer Boys podcast. Keep your eye here on our Twitch channel because we are going to be streaming some games. Sounds like it's going to be Fortnite. So we can get this snake skin.
Gotta get snake.
But we're going to be doing that tomorrow and Thursday evening. So we'll hope to see you back here. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Be good to one another. And until next time, we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we'll catch you on the flippity flop. All right.
I gotta see what I gotta go work on my bass.
Gotta work on the bass. Get it back in the Palworld, baby.